Hey friends, it's Laura and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a really fun Procecss video for you and I am using my May Wild Hare kits. And as you can tell from what I've started already, the colors are lovely. And I think I'm going to end up scrapbooking 2 pictures of my bunny. And I'm really excited to finally do some 12 by 12 layouts of him. He has his own 8.5 by 8.5 album that I started making, which I have shared on my channel before. And I haven't done any 12 by 12 layouts of him because I've been working on his smaller album. So I'm really excited to have some of these bigger ones in like the family / my everyday album as well. So yeah, working on that, and I've already started backing a cut file here. I don't actually have a silhouette machine. My lovely friend let me borrow hers and I went crazy. Like I bought so many different cut files and I downloaded so many free ones, and it all happened in the span of like 2 weeks, and there were so many of them, like I cannot remember which ones came from where. So sorry, I'm not sure where this came from, but it is lovely and I'm really excited to use it. So I started backing it already, and I'll just show you little bits and pieces of how I do back the cut file here. You can see I'm flipping through that 6 by 8 paper pad that came in my Wild Hare kits this month, and I love these copper foil pieces here. I think they're super gorgeous. So I'm going to use those to back some of the budding flowers or leaves on this cut file here, and it ends up being super beautiful. I love the way that turns out. It's a really time-consuming process, but it is pretty simple. You just lay down your cut file over top of the paper. I use a pencil to trace the outline of what part of the cut file I want to be backed with that patterned paper, and then I cut it out, flip the cut file over, add some wet glue, and then push it down. But I am careful, especially with these foiled pieces, and how I push them down, and you'll see sometimes I'll actually take a napkin to it or a paper towel, and I will use that to clean up any of the glue that has gone outside of the cut file and onto the pattern paper it's being backed with, because I definitely don't want any glue showing. So you can see here I fast forwarded that. I didn't want to make you watch all 8 hours it took of me to back this cut file. I'm just kidding, it did not take that long, but it did probably take close to 5 hours. So this is something I like to do when I just need to like totally zone out, mind numb, don't want to think about anything, kind of relaxation where, you know, it's just very technical and you're putting paper on paper, tracing, cutting, gluing, and I don't have to think about design too much. That comes into this part, and this layout I actually struggled with so much when I was making it, so here's some real talk for you. I am using these 2 pictures of my bunny. There's one with me and my bunny, and then one of my bunny. And the first thing I do is I think, oh, obviously white cardstock, because I've got this super busy cut file with all the colors. And I decided it was too plain. So then I added all of these really pretty light pink and brown paint splatters all around the edges of the paper where the cut file would be to kind of mimic that wreath shape. And then I decided that that was way too busy and cluttered, and it did not look like the paint splatters were very intentional because a few of them went a little out of control. And so I go back to the plain white, and I'm still not in love with it at this point. So I'm going to try a few different things. I try this light pink paper here, and I think that looks really lovely when I look at it on camera. I'm not sure why I didn't stick with it the first time. So I go back to the white, and then I'm going to start laying down a title here. And you'll see I do end up switching back to that light pink pattern paper background because I couldn't deal with the white. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't look right. It too much white space around the edges, maybe. I don't know. Have you ever seen one of my videos and heard me say too much white space? I don't think so. I usually love it. But for this layout, it just was not working, and I'm super happy I moved back to that light pink paper because I think everything goes together so much better on that. Like the cut file just looks a lot better. And it's almost the same exact light pink as the light pink in the wreath too, so I really like that. And it just kind of takes the wreath and tones it down a little because it pulls all those pink colors out of it into the background. So it kind of flows into the background a lot easier than it did on the white cardstock, if that makes sense. So once I figure out where I want my photos to go, I go ahead and I use wet glue on the back of my wreath. And the technique I do for this is just doing it right in the middle of my wreath. I don't go out to the edges, and you'll see that leaves a lot of dimension on the edges, both inside and outside of this wreath, where some of the flowers and leaves lift up off of the page. And I really like the dimension that that gives the page. And it also gives me a little bit more wiggle room for putting in embellishments and my photos. So you can see once I glue my wreath down, I use some double-sided tape and I get my photos down in there where I like them. And now I'm working on my full title here. You're probably wondering why it says Albus Dumbledore. If you are new to my channel or if you haven't watched any of my other bunny scrapbooking videos, this is our baby bunny. We call him Albie. His name is Albus Dumbledore, and that's because when he was a little babe, when we got him, he was a gray color, and he was a boy. And I can always think of tons of girls' names, but boys' names I struggle with. So we were thinking about a couple of them. We were thinking about Gandalf, and we were thinking about Albus, and I really liked, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. Snowbell? Yeah, Snowbell or something like Silver Bells. That's what it was. I love Christmas, and I thought the name Silver Bells would have been so cute, or Silver Bell. I thought it would have been so cute. Yeah, so we went a couple weeks before we got him trying to figure out what we were going to name him, and then finally my partner called me to the laundry room one night, and I went back there and I was like, "What you need?" And he goes, "Fine, we can name him Albie." So that's the sweet story of how he got named. I love Harry Potter. I love the series. I'm crazy about Harry Potter. I watch the movie every year on his birthday, and, have many times throughout the year where I watch the whole series. I'm currently rereading book 5 right now I'm rereading the whole series, and I've got friends that I get together with. We actually got to go see a symphony perform the Harry Potter movie, the second Harry Potter movie this year, so that was really cool. All the Harry Potter stuff I just love. So yeah, there's some fun stories for you on how we named our bunny. Albus Dumbledore is just one of the coolest characters ever. I have a thing for good characters, good people, kind people, people that do the right thing. And of course, nobody's perfect, but Albus Dumbledore was a pretty good guy on the good side. Anyway, this is what my final layout looks like. You can see I added a few more alphabets there. I wanted to pull them up into another part of the page, so I added the phrase "Hi Baby Buns" up to the top right hand corner to balance out his name down in the bottom left hand corner there. And then I add pink foil heart stickers from my planner stash of stickers all around the edge there. I think that looks really cute. I add a couple of phrase stickers that came in my Wild Hair Kits this month, and the bigger hearts that are down on the page are also from my Wild Hair Kits this month, and the cut file was backed with my Wild Hair Kits this month. So yeah, I'm loving how this project came together. I really love the final layout, and I'm so happy for that because I was so unsure about it for most of the time that I was making it, and just so relieved that it turned out something that I actually love because I spent so much time backing that cut file. I would have hated to not liked the finished layout. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I think it's super lovely. I love all the details. I will link the Wild Hair Kits down below if you want to check them out. I'll also link my crafty e-courses if you want to get crafty with me and learn my favorite tips and techniques for documenting your story and practicing self-love. And I was also on the Scrap Gals podcast this last week. I'm so excited about that. They have an amazing podcast, which I will also link down below in the description. And you can check that out if you want. It's $1.25 a week, and they do a couple episodes a week, and it's phenomenal if you're into scrapbooking. So make sure to check all that stuff out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, leave me a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!